All right, we are live. The Aftermath boys are back for episode 12 of Survivor season 50. An emotional episode today, quite the doozy. I'm just going to start out real quick by hitting the like and subscribe button. If you're here early with us, please go ahead and just give us a nice thumbs up. It helps the channel out for sure. And yeah, Chase, let's start with you. What are your thoughts?
So before we get into the episode today, there is one thing that I wanted to bring up. I'm not sure if some of the community has seen or not, but thoughts and prayers out to Jeff and his family because his brother Scott passed away 2 days ago. And Jeff was still out filming season 51 and literally finished today. So um, he wasn't able to be there for that either. So I know that's tough on him. And yeah,
Brutal situation. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Probst family, obviously. Devastating, devastating news to hear. Jeff, we're thinking about you, man. You're in our thoughts and prayers.
absolutely. Um, and on the other hand, I mean, at least filming finished today. So it could have been next week. It could have been a week later. Um, yeah. All right.
We
So
love you, Jeff. As much as I complain about you, I love you, dude.
yeah.
You're my hero. You have the dream job I've always
So
wanted. And the show wouldn't be what it is without you, Jeff. We love you.
yes, exactly. All right. So on to our normal.
Yeah, almost equally devastating news. We lost Sari tonight from season 50, and we lost Devens, arguably the two front runners, the two most entertaining players of the final seven. I don't know where the season's going from here. Unfortunately, I think we're headed towards a Aubrey win, probably an Aubrey runaway win at this point. I don't really see anybody else left in the game winning based on the edit we've seen. Maybe Jonathan could pull it out if they eliminate Aubrey at 5 or if she loses in fire. Are we getting a fire vote, by the way? I know the fans voted for Final Four. I
we
think
don't
the fans
we don't
voted for vote at Final Four, not
I didn't see what the final result was. I was
pretty
gonna
much
bring that up
everyone
at
I've
the
talked
end.
to that voted said they voted for Final Four vote, not Final Four fire making. So I would really hope that it's a vote here.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
maybe that's why we got a double elimination tonight, because maybe that's going to be longer than fire. I mean, I was not expecting a double elimination tonight at all.
Neither was I. Neither was I. I was very much surprised by it. It was like 37. It was like 9:37 Eastern time watching. I was looking at my phone. I was like, "Wow, we're at tribal early. That is surprising. I guess we're getting two
Yeah.
eliminations."
Yeah, so now we're at our final five. We've got the only one that I can, you know what? No, I still think Rizzo might have the chance. Rizzo and Tiff are my dark horses.
I don't think Rizzo is going to be able to swing this jury in his favor. He's just so young and so inexperienced in life compared to everyone else. I just don't see it. No disrespect intended, Rizzo. We love you. You're a very entertaining player, but I don't see it happening, man.
I
Maybe on
mean,
the season 49 jury, maybe, but I don't know about this one.
wasn't it Aubrey at some? I think it was one of her confessionals tonight where she was like, "I'm starting to think about who I want to bring to the end." And Rizzo, as a 25-year-old, do all these older Survivor players really want to give a 25-year-old $2 million?
Yeah, that's exactly what I
I'm
was thinking. It's no fault of Rizzo. It's just the circumstance. In all honesty, here. I mean, how do you argue against it? I don't know.
All right, so let's start from the top. I mean,
Yeah,
our recap. I mean, just a reminder to everyone else, Jonathan, he got to vote. He got to cast a vote at both tribals last week, and that gave him tremendous power.
first time that's happened in Survivor history.
Yep. Um, Ozzy decides to tell Aubrey about his entire game with Sari and Rizzo, which immediately leads to Ozzy's vote out.
Yeah, yeah. There was no
And
coming back.
then
Rizzo tonight described it to Sari. He called it a sinking ship. Ozzy was a sinking ship. There's just you got to get off that boat.
Yep, and then Emily went home, which was pretty much expected from the tribe split ups. But yeah, no. So we get back to the beach after tribal council. Um, Devins is automatically at the point where he's like, tomorrow morning, before sun comes up, I'm going to need to look for an idol because I'm going to be going home. And then the other tribe comes back, and then, like you said, Rizzo explains to Suri what Ozzy did, and then Suri's like, "Okay, good job." Like, yeah, I would have cut him off immediately.
Yeah, I found it really interesting that Rick was trying to pin the move on Jonathan. And then Jonathan was just like, yeah, it was me. I'll take credit for it. I voted out Ozzy. I think that was good gameplay by Jonathan and by Rick, in all honesty. I mean, Rick, you got to swing. I mean, obviously he's at the bottom. There's nothing you can really do. You got to take whatever chance you can. And good for Jonathan for claiming credit for that. I mean, he's got all these notches on his belt. Why not add another one?
But that's exactly what Aubrey wants him to do. Which, on the other hand, I think is pretty crafty. Is like, she's the one who's actually pulling the strings. She's the one who's putting those thoughts in his head to make it think it's his idea. Which, if she goes to FTC, she's gonna be like, "That wasn't your idea, my guy."
Just gonna throw this comment up real quick. Snai stinks, go Suri. Thank you, monkey dude. I don't think I stink, but yeah, go Suri, man. I'm devastated. We lost Suri here. Brutal timing on that. I think she was poised to win this game if we didn't lose her here. If she could have just made it to that final four fire making this time, potentially.
Oh yeah.
And one more from Colin, real quick. Boys, bring everyone to Lives next week. Yep, just want to address that now while we have Colin in here in the chat. We will be at Lives next week for the season 50 finale up in Baltimore. The event is being hosted by Gabe Ortiz. I think Nora will be there, a few other famous alumni from the DMV area. So yeah, excited about that. Yep. Colin, we will see you at Lives next week, but that means no podcast next week on Wednesday night. We'll probably do a Thursday night, maybe Friday night recap podcast, Chase, depending on your schedule and my schedule. And I may potentially have a guest host alongside me on video chat. So we will see y'all sometime next week, not on Wednesday night though. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I think we were talking about Jonathan taking credit for the Ozzy vote. I want to add in one more thing about that. You were saying that's what Aubrey wants him to do. We're getting a lot of like winner style confessionals from Aubrey at this point, which leads me to believe we're getting an Aubrey win, unfortunately, for many Aubrey haters out there. It's probably leading towards an Aubrey win. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. Her edit is really picked up in the back half of the season. It's very similar to what we saw with Michelle and Ko-Rong. Right off the bat tonight, Aubrey's first confessional, she said something about like igniting the flame of her game or something like that. Yeah, it's just, I think she's the clear front runner here. It'd be nice if she's like maybe the fallen angel at fire making and then Jonathan takes the win. I'd be pumping my fists and celebrating if that's the case. But yeah. Another quick comment. Y'all wearing Jonathan's kimonos to Lives. If I can get my hands on one in the next 7 days, then yeah, I'll do it, Sam. Absolutely. Oh, man. Oh, my. If Suri was better, she'd do better. Yeah, she can never win a challenge. That's her fatal flaw. If Suri had any bit of athletic ability, she'd probably be the greatest Survivor player of all time, as Aubrey called her. Aubrey, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that because you got to have some type of a challenge prowess to.
Yeah, because Aubrey said that Suri was better than both Tony and Sandra. She said that multiple times tonight.
That's a bold claim to make. In terms of social game, probably yes. In terms of strategic game, probably yes. In terms of that's a funny comment. We'll highlight it up there. I saw Snipes of Aubrey at Decades of 2019. My Decades era ended in 2018. Thank you for that comment, monkey dude. For those who don't know, Decades is a lovely bar in DC where drinks cost $24. They have 4 floors, one for every decade of the past like 40 years. Oh. Anyway, forgot where I was going, man. The comments are on fire tonight. But yeah, I think Aubrey's claim's a little bold. Suri definitely up there. Argument could be made for her on the Mount Rushmore. In that case, though, whose spot does she take? We got Tony, Sandra, clear locks. The other two are probably Boston Rob, Parvati. Who does she Replace.
I
Dare
don't
I
think she.
say Parvati?
No, I mean I don't think she replaces any of them. Maybe Mount Rushmore expands to 5 or 6, and Cerise in that 5 or 6 spot, but I don't think she replaces any of those 4.
So when Donald Trump eventually builds himself a Mount Rushmore head, we can add Suri as the 5th. That's when we'll do it. I'm sure that's coming at some point before Trump loses power here. But anyway, I don't want to get into politics. I was looking for any way to fit Suri into the top 5 players.
She would be the 5th.
She would definitely be the 5th. Yeah. Jokes aside, we're getting Aubrey, Jonathan, Tiff, final 3. What are we feeling? That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Do Aubrey and Tiffany split votes? Does Jonathan have a path? Because Jonathan probably gets a vote from Joe, because in that situation, Joe's in the jury. He's probably getting Coach, potentially Chrissy. Is he going to be able to swing the Rick Devens and the nerds like Christian and Emily? And
I would see Jonathan getting those 3. I don't see him getting any more.
Cerise probably a lock for Tiff. I would imagine Aubrey gets most of the nerds. So is there a situation where Jonathan can win that? That's a very interesting predicament, Monkey Dude. I feel like Aubrey probably wins that. I mean, we don't know how the final 5 is going to play out. So maybe one of them makes a huge move. Maybe one of them like takes somebody out, makes a reverse, a flip or something. I don't know. Maybe Tiffany can make a big move at final 5. In that situation, I'm probably saying Aubrey wins, Jonathan 2nd, Tiffany 3rd. What do you think, Chase?
I mean, I was going to actually ask this later on in the episode, but
that exact final 3 scenario.
I was going to ask you what final 3 would each person need to have to win. I wanted to ask. Yeah,
you want to get into that now? You want to get into that now? Let's get into that now. Yeah, I don't think Joe can win. Period. I don't think Joe can win. Period. I don't think Rizzo can win. Period. So
I agree with Joe. I'm going to stop you there on Rizzo. I think Rizzo could win if he was up against Joe and Jonathan.
I don't think he beats Jonathan. I don't think there's any scenario where he beats Jonathan. Jonathan, like life experience and all that aside, I think Jonathan's played a better game than him. Rizzo really hasn't done much besides bluff his idol. At least Jonathan's like winning immunity, making moves, claiming credit for moves. He had that confessional early in the merge about all the notches on his belt and wanting to add more to it.
Right.
I just don't see a scenario where Rizzo can win at all.
But Rizzo's played such a good social game where he's been able to not necessarily flop, but and he hasn't necessarily played the middle, but he's been able, for the 2nd season in a row, he's been able to hold his goddamn idol.
But honestly, what does that mean? Like, he's not catching votes anyway. Like he doesn't need to play his idol. Like, nobody's written down his name once because he's not a threat. They don't view him as a threat. They just view him as like a 25-year-old kid who's out there to have a good time and make a name for himself and try to get out there a 3rd time. I really don't see any scenario where Rizzo
I'm just speaking as if I was in someone else's shoes. Like if I was on that season,
thank you, Monkey Dude.
I wouldn't care if he was 25 and young and just played. But
you're looking at a jury of 30 plus 40 plus year old coach in his 50s, Chrissy in her 50s,
right, but they were with Rizzo earlier this season.
Yeah, and they view him as like a little kid, a jokester. They don't view him as this master strategist. And honestly, holding an idol for 11 votes in a row, when you're not catching a single vote the entire time, is really not that impressive, in my opinion. I like Rizzo. I have nothing against Rizzo, but I don't see any scenario where he beats Tiffany, Jonathan, or Aubrey at all. And he's going to be sitting next to one of those 3 guaranteed. Tiffany lost allies, was a target for a lot of votes, and won clutch immunity challenges. She doesn't have any crazy strategic moves, but she was actually a target. Rizzo was never a target. He was never in danger. It's not like he played his idol and then found another one, or bluffed his idol and faked out people that he was going to play it and misdirected the vote and changed it to someone else instead of him. He was never like on the radar. He was slightly on the radar tonight at one point, but he never got his name written down. And then I just don't see any scenario at all where he can possibly like beat Jonathan or Aubrey. Maybe Tiffany and Joe if he does something crazy and flashy and like uses his idol at 5 here to eliminate, I don't know, Aubrey. Maybe that can win him something.
That's another thing I was going to say. What he could have done tonight was played his idol on Cirie.
No, he can't play his idol on anybody else, remember?
Oh, that's right.
It's the Billie Eilish idol. He can only use it on himself. Which is another thing. It's not even like he found his idol, dude. He just got it gifted from him. He got it gifted from Genevieve.
Yeah.
And then he like did nothing since then. He's just been coasting because nobody views him as a threat. So I just don't see it. All right, let's move on to Tiffany. I think she has to sit next to Rizzo and Joe specifically. I don't think she beats Jonathan unless she like does something crazy to earn her more merit. And I don't think she has any chance against Aubrey. Jonathan and Aubrey both feel like a toss-up to me. It really depends on how this final 5 plays out. I don't think Aubrey's made like many moves so far. I really don't.
But it's her end game that she's been playing.
And her edit has been fantastic since like Final 9.
Yeah.
She's been getting great content, great confessionals. That Michelle winner moment to me was like a really
Cal
big
Wrong
deal.
bringing that up. Like, there was specific emphasis on like, I feel like this is how Cal Wrong was going. And I've learned from those mistakes. And I feel like this is kind of like what happened with Michelle. And I'm not going to let this happen again.
Based on gameplay right now, like I think Jonathan has played the strongest game, but based on edit, which I mean, you can't ignore the edit, Aubrey's the front runner, which is really interesting. And like any seasoned, experienced Survivor fan knows that you have to read the edit. You can't ignore the edit.
You do.
Unless it's season 41 or season 19. So, yeah, I don't know. Aubrey and Jonathan feels like a toss-up. Monkey Dude, great point in the chat here. Jonathan has the best game, but people don't like him. Maybe that is a really realistic scenario where Aubrey and Jonathan are sitting at Final 2 together, and the jury is looking at these two being like, Jonathan played the best game here, but we like Aubrey more. She played a better social game. And that's why they highlighted her social game at the beginning of the merge. They highlighted her confessional about wanting to play like Michelle.
I mean, this has happened in multiple seasons. Like,
they
don't vote for a winner because they played the best game. They vote for a winner for jury management, and they like them more.
Season 46, Kenzie over Charlie. I mean, we have a lot of examples of this. Go wrong. I don't know. I don't want to keep going off the top of my head, but
I mean,
21 Nicaragua.
For me, I was going to say Natalie over Russell. Russell played the best game, but
I still don't think Russell played the best game. That's an off-season podcast, in my opinion. But dude, I mean, Russell like maybe made the most moves in that game, but like jury management is a part of that game, and he had zero jury management from the start. But yeah, Monkey Dude, that's a great point. Jonathan has the best game. People don't like him. Maybe that's why he loses. Maybe we'll get some confessionals about that. Hopefully we get a live reunion. I'm pretty sure we get a live reunion, right? They said, I mean, I think I saw on social media.
Oh yeah. For 50, It's live. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, there's already been tickets sold. Everyone's already gotten all theirs. There's been giveaways and whatever for that.
This one hurts to read. Shout out Lamar Jackson. Shout out Baltimore. Thought this was very accurate, but the guy at the bar just said Jonathan was the Lamar Jackson of Survivor. I mean, he is the most athletic. He is incredibly nimble. He is just like an absolute beast physically, just like Lamar Jackson is. But yeah, he can't win the big one. And he doesn't have any defense to bail him out, and he has no protection from his offensive line. So, yeah, very accurate, Monkey Dude. Painful to read that one, but yes. All right. I think another Aubrey point I wanted to make is just her confessionals, man. Her edit, it's just screaming winner to me. There was a moment tonight where she claimed she was in the middle, and like the middle is the best spot to be in. It was pretty early. It
Yes.
was before the
Yeah.
Rick vote. I mean, they're
Yep.
highlighting this stuff that they don't need to highlight. They're making it known that like she is picking up her game and making these moves. And like honestly, we're not even really seeing the moves that she's making, but the editors are trying to tell us that she's doing all this crazy stuff and that she deserves the credit for it. When is it really her? I don't know.
I just think it's interesting because they did the same thing with Sari and Ozzy, and then all of a sudden, the next episode, they were voted out. So I'm like, all right, is
Oh man, if we
Aubrey
lose
going?
her at 5, if we lose her at 5, that would make for a very interesting Final Four situation.
Yeah.
It becomes basically a toss up between Jonathan and Tiff, and then
Yeah.
you have a guaranteed new era winner.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what I also wanted to bring up later on. That yeah, Aubrey is our only old school / old era player left.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, maybe they could be editing her as the fallen angel. That wouldn't surprise me. If they set her up to have like the winner's edit and then cut her and then she gets cut right at 5. That's certainly a
That's kind of
possibility.
like more what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that would make for a very interesting final tribal council.
I mean, because think about it. So what? Rizzo, no matter what, he's going to Final Four.
Yes.
So then we have Aubrey, Jonathan, Tiff, and Joe. Joe is going because
Well, hold on. We got 3 physical beasts there, and then Aubrey is a puzzle beast. So if it's a puzzle style challenge at Final Four, Aubrey's probably got a strong advantage right there.
right. So that's what I'm saying. So it's either Aubrey, Jonathan, or Tiff going home at Final Five. That's what I was saying. Depending on who wins the immunity challenge.
If Rizzo wins that challenge, it becomes even more interesting too, because then no one's safe besides Rizzo, and he can't play his idol on anyone else.
Right. Again, like we said, Jonathan's going to the Final 3. That's a lock.
You think?
Or sorry, not John, Joe.
Joe, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Joe's a lock.
Joe
I think all 4 of those people want Joe in the final tribal council, and I don't think Joe's going to get a single vote. Maybe he gets like if Jonathan's on the jury, maybe he gets a Jonathan vote.
But again, so let's say Rizzo does not win immunity. He plays his idol. Joe, they're bringing Joe. So that leaves Tiff, Jonathan, and Aubrey. I think it's going to be between Tiff and Aubrey.
I do too. There could be a world where they look at Jonathan and be like, "This guy's a beast. We don't want him in the Final Four immunity. Our odds go up if he's gone." So maybe that could be it. Maybe. But yeah, if we lose Aubrey at 5, that makes for a really fascinating Final Four situation. And I would be all in on that. I think that's probably no disrespect intended towards Aubrey, but that's the best case scenario for me. I'd find it really entertaining if we got like a Jonathan, Tiffany, Joe final tribal council. 3 very strong physical competitors, all from the new era. Not super strategic, any of them. That would be really interesting to hear their final tribal council pitches. Honestly, I think I'm rooting for that. I think I'm rooting for Aubrey to be out at 5 and Rizzo to be out at 4. That would be the ideal scenario for me. What would be ideal for you? Just your personal viewership. What's your ideal boot order and final 3? Not necessarily winner, but like final 3.
I would have to say, me personally, for who I would like to win, I would like to see a Rizzo, Joe, and Jonathan final 3, and Rizzo be able to put up his fight.
As you're not helping our misogynist allegations.
No. But hear me out. No, I was gonna say, but hear me out. As a Survivor fan, I would like to see Aubrey go out at 5, Rizzo go out at 4, and then have Tiff go up against Joe and Jonathan and Tiff win.
Okay. That would be fun. I mean, Tiff win would be really fun. I don't know what that would look like in terms of a final tribal council speech, because what has her game really been this season? But that would be a fun scenario.
That would be I would love to see that.
Unhappy monkey dude in the chat. Boo. I do think the best case scenario would be losing Aubrey at 5 and then just a total toss up. Just a complete toss up.
Yes, yeah, that's where I'm going for. And
Just
also as a Survivor fan, it's going to be a
crapshoot.
toss between those 4. Yeah, absolutely. Because all 4 of them think they can beat the other 3.
The jury would be all over the place too. It'd be fascinating to see the questions that people get asked. He retracts the boo. Thank you, monkey dude. We appreciate that. All right, let's get into these immunity challenges. We had 2 classic challenges tonight. The first one being the IMMUNITY,
the immunity
challenge with the rope wobble. I think it debuted in season 35, Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. I believe that was the first time we saw it, where Ben had it spelled incorrectly, and then Chrissy won. And then Ben found the idol the next day underneath the boat where X marks the spot. So that led to the Ben Drewbergen win. Anyway, Joe wins this one back to back. Crushed me in fantasy because I had Joe originally as my immunity winner pick, and then I switched it to Tiffany. Actually, I guess I get credit for that because Tiffany won the second one. Anyway,
so you're final on that. Yeah, you will get credit.
If you're not in our fantasy game, feel free to join us next season. I'm just going to shout that out while I have us on this topic. The winner each season gets a buff from the merge. My virtual background's taking this away, but this right here is the grand prize for the winner of our fantasy game. It's looking like it's going to be my boy Kaz this season. He is running away with it. I think he has a 250 point lead. Yours truly is in second place, but I don't think I can catch Kaz at this point. Got 25 people in our fantasy league this season, and we will have even more next season. I got a few people that already told me they want in. So pushing 30, potentially 40 next season. Going to be fun. But yeah, winner gets a merge buff. Got it right here. So congrats to Kaz. If you do win, congrats to you. Shout out my boy Kaz. Anyway, Joe wins the immunity, dominates it. I don't think anybody was even close to him. I mean,
Joe didn't fall. I mean, that was the thing. That Joe did the same strategy where when he won it in 48, where he literally just went slow and steady. He didn't care about how long he took to win that challenge. All he cared about was not falling, and that's what won him the challenge.
I think that's traditionally what strategy has always worked in this challenge too. And the problem is, like, as soon as you drop one time, your brain just goes into scramble mode where you're like, I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up.
Yes, exactly.
So you're just like moving. We saw Rizzo do it a few times tonight where he was like sprinting backwards.
I mean, Devins was the biggest one.
Yeah, I mean, Devins, my wife and I are watching it together. She literally looks at me and she goes, Devins is terrible at this challenge. He can't get past the third block. I think he did get 6 blocks at one point. We saw Jonathan a few times get to like 6 or 7 letters out of 8. IMMUNITY. Yeah, that is 8. I did count 7 blocks at one point for Jonathan, and then he was just trying to catch Joe. He moved too fast and lost it.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure the winner of this challenge historically has always moved at the snail's pace, as Jeff called it tonight. So good for Joe. Patience pays off. Truly a challenge beast, dominating. I think 3 immunity wins in 2 seasons is very impressive, no matter what era of Survivor you're in.
Absolutely.
So shout out Joe, man, very impressive. And then Tiffany, I think that's her 3rd win this season.
That was her 3rd win this season.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah, that was her 3rd immunity win.
Absolute beast. Probably one of the all-time best female competitors in immunity challenges, and potentially like one of the all-time best across all genders.
I mean, she might tie again the 4 immunity this season. There's still at least one more immunity.
There's room for her to break the female record.
She might hit the 5.
Yeah, I mean, if she goes final 5 immunity win, final 4 immunity win, that would be the female record, and that would tie the all-time Survivor record. I think there's 5 men that have done 5. I could be wrong about that. I would have to fact check myself. We need Sam Clark in here to fact check us. Sam Clark always knows. I think there have been 5 men that have won 5 immunities and 4 women that have won 4 immunities.
Yes.
Could be wrong.
The 4 women is correct. I think it's 5 men.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if Tiff did that, I think that
would solidify her win.
Yeah, that would. I mean, maybe Aubrey beats her, maybe Jonathan beats her, maybe if they have a better argument about their social and strategic games. But yeah, I mean, if Tiff goes 5 immunities, 3 straight to make it to final 3, that's very, very impressive. And I think there's a lot of players on that jury that would appreciate that. I think Joe and Jonathan specifically would really appreciate that. I think Coach would appreciate that.
Yeah. Ozzy, he's another challenge one who appreciates challenges.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Ozzy. How could I forget? Oscar the Grouch, OnlyFans finest.
Sorry, Oscar, you're right. He's Oscar this season.
I was referencing his social media handle. Speaking of social media, though, do you have anybody you want to shout out this week? I know you've been giving weekly shout outs to Survivor content creators.
I've been lacking the past few weeks.
You've been slacking.
I know. I have.
You had it like 7 weeks in a row, man. We had a shout out every week. We just run out of content creators.
There's always content creators. I know there is.
I got one then. I'm going to shout out. I saw one recently this past week called Jeff Probst's Son. I think this guy just impersonates Jeff Probst on Instagram. I find it very entertaining. I think he like runs his own Survivor themed game in his house or something like that. So that's pretty cool. Shout out Jeff Probst's Son on Instagram. Yeah, follow him if you want to. I don't really know much about him, but
I'm going to have one for the finale.
Okay. Our finale podcast that's not live after the episode next week.
That's not live after the episode. We will be drunk in
Baltimore, yes. Sorry, PG show. PG-13 show.
We will be at a live reunion show next week.
Yes. Having beverages. Yes, correct. All right. So I want to talk about a moment with Tiffany that I thought was hilarious today. Calling out Jonathan for eating the dry rice. Dude, that was so funny.
He stuck his tongue in the rice.
I mean, that is nasty. I'll give her that. She's right about that. That is nasty. But I mean, you're going to look a big giant man in the eyes and tell him stop doing that. I don't know. She got some courage doing that.
Speaking of, I guess, food-related things, yes, that was funny. But I feel like it was valid that they were mad at Rizzo. I don't feel like they should have been at him personally, but Rizzo, this small twig, whatever. He literally just ate multiple things at the auction. He didn't eat all of his chicken at the auction. He got just brought on to a food reward afterwards when Suri or Tiff won.
Yeah, I mean, hate the game, don't hate the player. What's that old saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah,
it's not his fault. It's not his fault. I don't feel
Jonathan... like I would have been, if I were in their shoes, I would have also been salty.
Yeah, I mean, you can be mad at the circumstance. You can't be mad at Rizzo. It's not like Rizzo is the reason that Jonathan only ate a slug. It's just poor luck on Jonathan's part. It's not like Rizzo's fault. And it's not Rizzo's fault that he's a twig and has no appetite and can't eat 2 chicken breasts. It's unfortunate and it sucks to watch him throw chicken breasts away. And I'm sure everybody else is pissed about that, but like, I don't know.
It's not his fault, really. That's the point that I wanted to make.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting circumstance, but I don't know. I mean, when you're hungry and starving and all you can think about is food, I'm sure that would make you angry as well. But I don't think they were angry at Rizzo per se. It's just like, God, I'm sick of watching.
Oh, they were angry at Rizzo.
Well, then that affects his jury position, bro. How's he going to win their jury votes?
You threw away chicken.
Yeah. I mean, you have no life
actually, you're right. Like, legitimately, that will go into play in a jury vote.
Jonathan's like, I would have eaten those chicken breasts in 15 seconds. And he sat there for 15 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. Tiff and Jonathan were there talking with each other about that. Yes. Lord Jonathan was like, I would have demolished that. I needed that. I'm a giant. Yeah. He said he struggled watching Rizzo not eat that chicken. Which is one thing I do like about the auction, though, still, is because it does bring up those sort of circumstances where you can't share your food.
Can't share money either.
You
Didn't
can't
use
share money.
didn't used to be that way.
So, like, you do, like, if someone doesn't finish their food and another person wants it, you literally do have to watch them throw it away.
And if you're out of money, you just got to sit there angry,
Yeah.
stirring in your anger.
Yep.
So have you ever eaten a piece of dry rice like Jonathan was doing?
Yes.
You have?
Dry rice, dry pasta,
How is
Yeah.
it?
raw or frozen tater tots. Like, I will eat things raw.
You're a peasant. You're meant for Survivor.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, it's really not that bad.
So speaking of Jonathan, we got a chat from Colin in the chat here. Jonathan needs immunity or he's gone. I think he might be right. I think he might be right about that, actually.
No, it's going to
Who's
be
being
Tiff or
targeted
Aubrey.
before Jonathan at 5? You're targeting Aubrey first?
Tiff and Aubrey. If Aubrey wins, it's going to be Tiff. If Tiff wins, it's going to be Aubrey.
I mean, Tiff was the target tonight, but here, he's following up here. Rizzo has an idol. Tiff and Joe are challenge winners. Aubrey is a meat shield. Jonathan is a meathead. So the meathead is who gets targeted first in this scenario. I don't know, man. I think you might. I mean, I guess if they're looking at like allies on the jury and social game, maybe Tiffany's the biggest threat. But ultimately, I think Jonathan's played the best game of everybody who's left. If it were me out there, I think Jonathan's probably the biggest threat to win the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he does go at 5. And then just one last comment. Jonathan is a great player, but can't sway votes better than Aubrey. I don't know.
Colin's on my side about Rizzo. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Colin.
Let's go back into that topic. Rizzo has played the best game. I don't think he has played the best game. He hasn't. What has he done? What are his moves? All he's done is just hold this idol in his pocket and just sat there and not been a target. Nobody views him as a threat.
It's the social game that he's played. It's the ones who hated him at the beginning of the game, who wanted him out from day one, and 24 hours later, Colby, for example, who wanted to keep him. Rizzo was able to align himself with Cirie. Like, Cirie doesn't just pick anyone to align themselves with.
But then you're sitting on the jury. You're sitting in the final tribal council with him. Cirie's on the jury. You point to Cirie and just say, Cirie, did you drag Rizzo through this whole game, or did Rizzo make any of these moves himself? And Cirie is going to go, I took Rizzo all the way to the end. He didn't do anything. He had a chance. He had a chance to save Ozzy and shake it up. He had a chance to tell Ozzy, play your idol, save yourself. That's a big move. He sat there and did nothing. What has he done? I still don't know what he's done. He sat there and bluffed his idol for 2 straight seasons. If they
kept Ozzy, they were done. They were all the next ones voted out, and then we would have seen a different final 5.
He's the final man standing in the best alliance. That's a fair point. I'll give you that.
Give him show the next point. Show the next comment.
Chase is spitting right now is the comment after that. Rizzo knowing how to play without Cirie putting himself in the target range is masterful. But he's not a target. Nobody's voted for him. Nobody's even thought about voting for him. He hasn't caught a single vote all season.
It's the same thing as 49.
If he was such a big threat, why is nobody voting for him?
What if Cirie was such a big threat? Why did no one vote for her?
Well, because they know that they can just easily take her out whenever they want to, because she'll never win immunity.
All right, so there you go.
I just don't understand the game Rizzo's played. I mean, he basically made a good alliance. I'm sorry, that's such a funny chat from Monkey Dude. I gotta put this one up. If Cirie won this immunity, LMAO. How do you think this vote in the season changes? All right, we got the comments are popping off. We'll get to that in a second here. I got one from April. I got another one from Colin. We'll come back to that. I want to address Monkey Dude's point right here because it's a really good point. If Cirie won immunity, how do you think this vote in the season changes? Everything changes here if Cirie wins immunity. I think Tiffany was the clear vote here.
Tiff would have been gone.
And then you have a situation in the final 5 where Cirie and Rizzo are still together, and they can pull in someone like Aubrey, then they have full power. So Cirie potentially goes on a run all the way to the end.
Yeah.
If
Tiff did not win, then Tiff was going home. I agree.
I mean, I think Saria's played in almost 30 immunity challenges at this point. She's never won one. Honestly, that's impressive. As much as I hate to admit it, Colin is spot on from April Ann in the chat here. I don't understand what Colin is spot on about. The fact that like Rizzo got dragged to the end by Sari.
Rizzo did not get dragged to the end by Sari. He was playing by himself. There were situations where he was making decisions outside of Sari.
Okay,
and he was coming to her.
I have a move he made. It just hit me. I have a move he made. He took out Charlie. That was impressive.
Yes.
But that was also the pre-merge and Charlie's not on the jury.
But it still doesn't matter. That was still a move.
Okay. Can he beat... He can beat Joe. I'll give you that. He can beat Joe.
Yes, obviously.
Can he beat Jonathan? When Jonathan potentially has more notches on his belt and more immunity wins and like just potentially more allies on the jury.
I honestly think he can.
This hits so much harder. This hits so much harder knowing that Chase is a Cowboys fan. Guy next to me at the bar just said Sari is the Dak Prescott of Survivor. That might be the most spot on comment we've had in this chat's history.
That hurts.
That
hurts.
Good, dude. Chat of the year. I lost what I was saying, but it was about
But anyway, wait.
That is so funny. I'm gonna leave that one up a little longer. Oh, that was so good.
So
Monkey Dude is on fire tonight.
Rizzo's move was pre-merge.
Okay, so he received an idol from Genevieve.
We were talking about why Rizzo
at the very beginning. His tribe thought he was annoying, so that's like Colby, Q, Stephanie, right? Most of that tribe is gone though. Like Angelina's gone, Q's gone. I mean, Stephanie's on the jury, Genevieve's gone. Like most of his original starting tribe didn't like him. First impressions, thought he was annoying, thought he was lazy around camp. Then he gets tribe swapped, starts to get a little momentum. Takes Charlie out when Charlie was targeting him, so that's a good move. Gets to the merge, aligns himself with Ozzy. When Ozzy came to Rizzo and was like, I want to pull you in because Sari told me that you're cool. So he was kind of like pulled into an alliance. He didn't necessarily make this alliance. They came and got him and brought him into this alliance. They were like, we want you to be our third. So I don't really give him credit for like aligning with Ozzy and Sari. Yes, if you're a fan, that's the dream alliance you want to be in. Two legends of the game. Ever since then, he's been coasting all the way to the end without really being a target for anyone. I don't think anybody even like is taking him that seriously as a threat to win and potentially as a player in the game even. They just think he's like a young kid out there to have fun and make a name for himself. I don't think they view him as like someone who's going to win Survivor here.
So that I will agree with, but I feel like it might be more of like a Marianne type FTC.
Yeah, you're right. Rizzo could potentially just dominate a final tribal council, especially if he's up there against a Jonathan and a Joe who clearly can't even spell words.
I think it's going to be
tonight. I love those guys. Don't get me wrong. I love Jonathan and Joe, but not knowing how to spell inconceivable is, to be fair, I don't want to go too hard on them. They are starving. They're literally starving. Their bodies are breaking down. They are twice my size. They are men that eat like 3,000, 4,000 calories a day on average. So
let me ask you now, Nick. How do you spell inconceivable?
INCONCEIVABLE. I was the spelling bee champ of my middle school. Don't get me started on that. Anyway, quick comment. We are just rambling right here. Rizzo has played a better game than Jonathan by far. I think Jonathan has just been under the radar and got lucky. He won the doll vote immunity challenge off a horseshoe in his ass. Yeah, he did get lucky that vote. I think the very good comment here from April. To not be able to spell inconceivable is inconceivable. It would have been great if she misspelled it right there too. That would have been extra funny. But yeah, I think if Jonathan was not in that power position last week, it might have even been him on the chopping block, especially if Tiff was the swing position. Yeah. So, all right, let's go back to the Rizzo point. We got to settle this debate here. I think the chat is agreeing with you. I think a couple people might agree with me. I don't know. But what is Rizzo's like resume up to this point?
I mean, his resume is his social game. It's been his way of being able to his alliances, getting on people's good side, bad side from when he started on the bad side, just the way they like him. Being able to make moves like Charlie, when he was without Cirie. Yes, that was an easy vote to get Ozzy out because they just blew up their entire game. But there was another good point tonight where Rizzo was the rat of trying to tell everyone that Aubrey was, or yeah, he was telling everyone that they wanted to go for Tiff, and he was able to convince everyone that it was Aubrey. Like,
Well, I think Cirie did that, and Rizzo was like, "Wow, I got away with that."
But either way, I just think, like you said, I do agree that everyone underestimates him, but as soon as he gets to an FTC, he's not losing.
I don't know, man. If he's sitting there with Aubrey, I think Aubrey could out-joust him. Aubrey could out-joust him.
Yes.
I don't know about the other three.
But I think if Aubrey is not in the FTC with Rizzo,
his odds are higher.
Rizzo
but
wins.
Also, if it's a situation where Tiffany wins Final 5 immunity, wins Final 4 immunity, 3 straight immunities to take herself to the Final 3, and she's got Cirie on the jury pitching for her, and she's got D on the jury pitching for her, that's tough. What does Rizzo have?
mean, only time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see.
Again,
we're running a lot of scenarios.
It might be a Marianne situation where everyone, it's going to be a clean sweep, and then by the time FTC ends, Marianne wins.
Couple comments I want to highlight. Aubrey has no clout at all. Tiff is a beast. What up, boys? What up, Sean? Welcome to the chat here. Tiff is a beast, dude. We were just talking about how if Tiff wins this immunity tonight, then wins Final 5, then wins Final 3, that would be one of the most impressive games we've seen, especially in the new era, and potentially of all time.
She would break the record for females for most immunity challenges.
That would be the most individual immunity wins from a female in any season of the show. So Tiff really is a beast. I gained a lot of respect for Tiff this season. At the beginning of this season, I was asking myself, why is she even on this season? But I think she's brought it. It's been fun to watch. Love me some Tiff from April in the chat. Yeah, Tiff's been killing it. She's a good player. I gained a lot of respect for her. I'd like to see her potentially play again in the future, maybe like a new era All-Stars season where it's just all like new era contestants, no old schoolers, no winners, unless she is the winner of this season, then I guess not. But yeah, I think she could do some damage in a future season. And yeah, I had actually one thing I wanted to say, Chase. I wrote in my notes here from the episode tonight. So I had noted earlier in the podcast that Rizzo was never a target from anyone, but Tiffany was targeting him tonight because of his idol.
I was like, I know we kind of jumped all around tonight. I'm trying to look through my notes now where things I've missed. But yes,
2-foot Tiff, they call her. Dude, Monkey Dude is on fire. 2-foot Tiff. Last week's challenge. That's a really good one.
Was there any
Chad is cracking up at Monkey Dude. Yeah, that was a really good one. Yeah, maybe Rizzo is a bigger target than I'm giving him credit for. I just don't see it myself, but maybe he is. Maybe he is. To me, the edit is screaming Jonathan or Aubrey is the winner. Probably Aubrey based on the edit tonight.
I mean, it's been Cirie or Aubrey all season, and now
no, I always had Jonathan up there. I think Jonathan's notches on his belt confessional was very good. I think he's been getting a lot of strong content. I do think Jonathan has potential to win the game. I won't count him out. The rice thing was very funny tonight, though. Just shout out Jonathan eating dry rice.
That was
what a man!
Hilarious. Another funny part was when they were all going around tribal. I had this written down in my notes. I don't remember exactly.
I got another funny part too after yours.
Jonathan was sitting in the hammock, and then Cirie sat in the hammock. And
I thought Cirie was sitting first, right?
Or maybe it was
I think Cirie was sitting first, and then Jonathan like puts half of his butt on and just snaps right away. That was
It was
so
on the ground.
funny.
No, it was no. Jonathan was on it first. It was
Oh,
Sari
okay.
going to sit down,
Okay.
and then Jonathan's just sitting there on the ground, looking over at Saribi and just continuing their conversation.
Actually, this is a really good point from Monkey Dude. The two biggest threats are Jonathan and Rizzo. I think that's true. I do think that's true right now. Based on the edit, Jonathan and Rizzo have the strongest resumes, but the edit is making them seem like jerks, which unfortunately makes him think that Aubrey gets the dub ultimately. And we are seeing confessionals from Aubrey over and over again about how she's focusing on her social game, focusing on managing his jury. So that's a very good point for Monkey Dude. No, Jonathan was sitting first. Thank you, April, for correcting the
Okay.
record.
Thanks,
And
April.
then Sean, I feel like Jonathan doesn't have a crazy move to get him that win. I mean, he flipped it on Ozzy, even though Aubrey will try to take credit for that. He flipped the vote on Ozzy, and ultimately, like, he was the one who had all the power at that tribal council. He did eliminate D at the beginning of the merge. I think Jonathan deserves credit for that vote. After being blindsided by Camilla and D the episode before when Colby got eliminated. So he eliminated D there.
But no,
And then
Jonathan didn't eliminate D. That was Aubrey.
he led the charge against it, though. I think he was the one who rallied the troops because that's where the notches on the belt thing came from. He
But again,
claimed
that
credit for it.
that's been Aubrey's game this entire time.
I think that
where
makes it
it's-
really interesting if we get a final tribal council where Aubrey and Jonathan are sitting next to each other. Who is going to claim credit for which move? And then Rizzo's just in the corner like, guys, please, I'm cool too.
But
I helped my idol.
But again, that D vote was Aubrey.
Was it though?
Yes.
Chat, what do you guys think? Who led the D vote? Was it Aubrey or was it Jonathan? I feel like it was Jonathan rallying troops. He got the Honor Integrity Alliance together. He pulled in Coach and Stephanie.
April right there. Exactly.
Aubrey is the master
that's what it's
manipulator,
been
pulling the
all
puppet strings,
season.
and Jonathan is the puppet.
Jonathan
I mean,
feels like he's making these moves, but it's literally been Aubrey this entire season.
well, maybe she pulls the
using
rug
him.
out from under him at Final Tribal Council, like we saw with in season 43 when Cassidy tried to claim credit in front of the jury,
Yep.
and the jury was like, "Nope, those were not your moves. Wrong." And then she just had an egg on her face at Final Tribal Council.
That's what's going to happen with Jonathan.
Speaking of Jonathan, Monkey Dude, I'm all aboard Team Jonathan. If he does something crazy in the next episode, I'd be stunned if he doesn't win. I'm with you. I think it's possible that he could sit next to Aubrey and lose. And if Tiffany goes on an immunity run, I think he could sit next to Tiffany and lose. I think if Jonathan sits next to both of the other men, being Rizzo and Joe, I think he's a lock. He's got it. Might even potentially sweep. Joe might get a vote from someone as a pity vote. Maybe Rizzo gets Ozzy and Sari, but I think Jonathan wins.
Sean also just brought up a great comment. I think she can defend her game if she makes it to the finals without Jonathan, but if Jonathan is in FTC with her, she can absolutely just dunk on everybody.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think it's tougher for Aubrey if Tiff is also with her, though, especially if Tiff wins Final Four and Final 3 immunity, which is very much a possibility.
I mean, yeah, it would be harder, but they've also played their own different games, which makes it harder.
That's true. So we've counted out Joe at this point. We think, interesting from April, the exact opposite opinion of what I had a little bit ago. She thinks Tiff and Rizzo are the most likely winners. Interesting. I think
that's exactly what I said. I'm glad April agrees with me. That's what I said
Monkey
earlier.
Dude with a very good point that I was just kind of getting out earlier before I went on a tangent there. I think Tiff can leech votes from Aubrey. That's exactly what I was saying. I think Aubrey needs Tiffany out of the game. She needs to be the only woman up there with two men. That's her winning scenario, especially if she's sitting next to Rizzo and Joe. I think she sweeps. If she can claim credit for eliminating Tiffany at 5 and then eliminating Jonathan at 4, I think she just sweeps. Sitting next to Joe and Rizzo, maybe Rizzo gets a vote from Sari.
Rizzo gets a few votes, but I don't think it's a sweep.
Yeah.
I will agree that, yes, Aubrey would probably win that one, but I don't think she sweeps.
All right, let's go back to the first tribal here. Devins plays a shot in the dark. Rizzo
Fails.
holds his idol again.
Yeah.
Anything notable from that tribal? I think that was kind of just a
Yeah,
Everybody saw
I
that
think we've
coming.
already.
I
Yeah.
think they made it short and quick because it was just so obvious what was going to happen there.
I did kind of like how they did a tribute for Devins, kind of like what they did for Chrissy and um, Coach. And Devins is definitely someone who is an all-time player. So they definitely changed the music a little bit. We knew it was going to be Devins because the way they interviewed him before the vote was actually read. And I did like yeah, I did like the Devins tribute.
And then shortly after that, we go back to the tribe. Aubrey referred to Tiffany as Michelle 2.0. So this Michelle theme keeps popping up over and over again. And for those of you in chat who are not familiar with Michelle, she won season 32, co-rung. Arguably one of the most controversial wins of all time. That was Aubrey's first season. Aubrey lost to Michelle. Aubrey played the best game on paper that season, but Michelle had better jury relations and had more friends on the jury and had a better social game. And that's where the term social game really was born after that season. So Michelle, one of the best players of all time, in my opinion, one of the few players to play the game more than once and never receive her or never get her torch snuffed and never been voted out of the game, made it the final tribal in both her seasons.
Yep.
So to highlight Michelle over and over again is very impactful. There's a reason they're doing that. So for her to be referring to Michelle so many times, I feel like there's meaning behind that. So I don't know. Aubrey tried to paint Tiffany as Michelle 2.0 though. So is that supposed to hint at why Tiffany's going to win potentially?
That's kind of what again, as you said, we got to read into the edit. I'm like, as soon as they said that, I was like, oh, Tiff might be able to pull this out if she wins some immunities.
Yeah, and speaking of Tiff, I want to pitch her to Sean's question here. Who does the jury like most out of these 5? It might be Tiff. It might actually be Tiff. I mean, Cirie loves her. Now Cirie's on the jury. Everybody on the jury looks up to Cirie. So, I mean, Cirie's got probably the most sway of anyone on the jury. Tiff win would make more sense, as weird as I think it would be. Dude, maybe Tiff is the winner here.
This is
Michelle 2.0 comments really starting to stand out, man. Maybe all this Aubrey talk about Michelle is to highlight why. I mean, maybe the theme is all of this to show why Aubrey doesn't win for a second time. Tiff has been a solo player, a fighter, surviving day by day, making different alliances, and aligning with Cirie was brilliant. April, I agree with you very much there. The only thing I will say about Tiff that scares me is that her edit has been poor. She has not gotten a very good edit, and usually Survivor wants to highlight their winner in a positive light. The last time we saw a winner with a bad edit was season 41 with Erica. Yep. Erica had, I think, 17 confessionals that season, just no spotlight. So if Tiff had a bigger, better edit, I would be all aboard her train right now. But this is a great point by April in the chat here. Solo player, fighter, surviving day by day, lost her ally in D, lost her ally in Camilla, overcame it. She won clutch immunities when she needed to win immunities. Yeah, and Monkey Dude in the chat here again. Honestly, I was a low-key Tiff hater considering the edit, but the more I think about it, it kind of makes sense. Are we talking ourselves into a Tiff win?
Are we talking ourselves into a Tiff win?
She might be the top of our longevity rankings here in a little bit.
Nick, I told you at the beginning of this episode, I said either Rizzo or Tiff. Those are my 2.
Yeah, dude, you might have convinced me. I was being hard-headed, but man, we might have just talked me into it. That Michelle 2.0 comment really stuck with me there. And yeah, Sean hyped on her immunity win tonight. 2-foot Tiff takes down Aubrey. If Tiff wins final 5 and final 4 immunity, it would truly be one of the most impressive immunity runs we've seen all time. I think it would take a very strong final tribal council from another player to be able to beat her. A Marianne from season 42 level final tribal council, where everyone counted Marianne out going into that final tribal council, and then they heard her speak, and then she swayed everyone's opinion. So that's what it would take to beat a Tiffany in that situation, especially with someone like Cirie on the jury advocating for her and D on the jury advocating for her. I mean, those two are just locks to vote for Tiffany. So yeah, second immunity challenge, by the way, another classic. We get the arch puzzle. This has been in many seasons of Survivor. The puzzle blocks to spell out a word, usually a long word. This one,
Yep.
inconceivable. We were talking about that in chat earlier. You tested me to see if I could get it. I was able to. Yeah. So do you think Aubrey said herself she could have beat Tiff if she took the time to do the challenge on her own and not help the big alpha males?
I do think she would have been able to do it. I agree. It's this in the first time this happened was when I guess Liz helped, or I guess in the most recent era, it's Liz helped Kenzie beat Maria. I don't like the idea of individual immunity challenges and people helping other people complete the challenges.
I mean, we saw it in season 38 with Chris Underwood. Comes back and then he helps Julie win the final. I believe that was the final immunity challenge, or it was final 5 at that point.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, but still, same thing. I don't like it.
We saw it in South Pacific where everybody wanted they wanted to take Ozzy out. So it was like Albert, Sophie, all them were working together with Coach to try to beat Ozzy in the final challenge. I mean, it's always been prevalent in Survivor. I mean, we can go back further than that. I think it's always been a thing. So that's just how the game is.
It's not been as noticeable as it was as recent.
Yes, because people play a more individual game nowadays. But I just wanted to shout out Classic Immunity Challenge. It's always nice for
as far as the challenge itself, yeah, I thought it was a solid challenge.
For guys like you and I that have seen every season, diehard fans of this show. It's nice to get like a vintage classic challenge. So I appreciate that from the production team. Very good point from Sean. I want to bring up. Hear me out. Tiff convinces Jonathan and Joe to go after Aubrey. That would be awesome. Imagine if Tiff wins immunity at 5, so she has all the power. When you have that type of, like, when you have the immunity necklace around your neck, it opens up your options in the game. It allows you to play much more aggressively. So that could be a winner move right there. Tiff wins final 5 immunity, convinces them we need to go after Aubrey. She's the biggest threat. Rizzo burns his idol, doesn't catch any votes. They can say, hey, Rizzo just held this idol, never had any votes against him. He was never a real threat. That's a really strong situation for Tiff right there. I actually really like that, Sean. So that's a strong winner chance. On the bright side, Ozzy wasn't winning the spelling challenge either. Dude, Monkey Dude's making me crack up. I'm so happy to have him in the chat tonight. So yeah, Tiffany's the only person to work independently on this challenge, though. Wins immunity. Yeah. It felt deserving.
Absolutely.
The Survivor gods are looking out for her.
And then immediately after the Tiffany win, we got something from Jeff. The Sia Award is coming back.
Speaking of that, I just want to say I scanned that QR code as fast as possible, scrolled to Coach's picture, tapped it, submitted my email, and voted for Coach right away. I hope Coach wins the Sia money. That would be the absolute funniest possibility of all the scenarios.
I personally did the same thing, except for Christian.
I voted for Christian.
I voted for Christian.
Coach
would have been my second.
I just voted for it because I'm an agent of chaos and I want the funniest possible outcome. I would love to see Sia on stage handing a check to Coach. That would just be so funny in terms of like comedy. I need that. As Rizzo would say, that would be cinema. Just gonna highlight that comment because it's funny. Tiffany could probably convince Rizzo to go after Aubrey also. It's easier than going after any of the guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Aubrey's going to be the next. She needs to win immunity next week to survive. Aubrey's gone.
But if Aubrey does win immunity, that really strengthens her case.
Yeah, and then it's going to be Tiff because Aubrey's going to pitch Tiff.
Bold prediction from April here. Sia awards 3.
I could see that too.
Yeah, the fans.
It's going to be either Christian or Cirie. I could see both.
The fans do love Cirie. I wouldn't be surprised if Cirie wins a Sia award. You know, now that we talk about it some more, Cirie's probably the front runner for that.
But hasn't Cirie also already won the Sia award? Didn't she win it in a
Maybe in
previous
Game
season?
Changers, maybe in Game
I
Changers.
think she, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
I think that might have been Ty though. I think Ty might have won it in Korong.
I think it was Ty Korong, Suri Game Changers.
Sam Clark, where are you, dude? We need our Survivor fact checker is Sam Clark. We need him in the chat. What's he doing tonight? Is he playing?
Either way, I'm like 99% sure Suri's won the CO award at some point when she was playing.
Okay.
But based on this season, I have a feeling it's going to be Christian.
So we kind of covered the post like Tiffany winning immunity stuff already earlier. It immediately turns to Suri. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say one last thing too about that is the Sia or the Billie Eilish immunity idol should have been the Sia immunity idol. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Like they already had the support behind Sia. They've had it for years. Like
she's donated enough money to the show that she deserved to have her name up there over Billie Eilish, who like I don't want to say anything negative about Billie Eilish, but I don't think her heart was really in it.
I mean, again, we were talking about this last week. She literally joked about the fact that
we went in on Billie Eilish already. I don't need to bash her anymore.
It should have been Sia. That's all I'm saying.
So the vote quickly. The target obviously shifts to Suri. She is the best player left. Obviously, you want to. Oh, dude, yes. Thank you, Monkey Dude. Ty trying to go. Yes,
love Ty.
We love Ty. Yeah, who doesn't love Ty? I'm just gonna leave that one up there for a longer. So yeah, the vote immediately shifts over to Suri. I think it was pretty obvious. I don't think anyone was actually going to vote for Rizzo.
No.
What was the other option? Aubrey. Still at that point, like Aubrey's a big threat to win the game, but come on, you're not going to let Suri get to 5. You're just not.
You had to cut Suri tonight.
Yeah, if you want to win the game, you can't sit next to Suri. Love you, Suri. You're one of the best to ever play the game, but you're probably never going to win the game. Suri like does what she can though. She tells about the Tiffany plan.
Yep.
Kind of tries to blow things up. Doesn't really work. She did what she could.
So I have a question.
Okay, I had a question for you too. You go first.
Who voted with her, Rizzo or Tiff?
I think it was Tiffany.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah, I didn't catch it in the
at the end.
Yeah, I didn't catch it in the post episode after the scenes for the next episode because my Hulu always cuts off. Thank you, Hulu. By the way, you're terrible. I can't stand Hulu. You need to get a new streaming service. Anyway, I think it was Tiff. I'm pretty sure it was Tiff because Tiff immediately got up and hugged her like right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monkey
it
Dude
was
chat.
Tiff.
Thank you.
Okay.
It was Tiffany. Yeah, that makes sense. So, hey, man, jury management. Tiffany's doing the best job.
Yep.
She really is. That makes me think she's going out in 5. Should Suri played her shot in the dark? That's what I was going to say. I think it was obvious, in my opinion, that she was going home. Do you think her line of thought was Rizzo's going to vote with Tiffany and I, so we have 3 and I can force a tie? Because she knew that there's no way Aubrey votes with her. There's no way Jonathan and Joe vote with her.
Yeah.
So like what's her out there then? You force a tie and go to rocks and hope that Tiffany and Rizzo are willing to go to rocks for you? Like, do you think Suri thought she had 4 votes?
No, she knew she didn't.
So Suri might have needed to just play her shot in the dark there.
But again, my guess is that there was a chance Rizzo may have voted with her and Tiff.
But then it goes to rocks. And then it's like, is Rizzo going to risk his game?
But also, you got to think, Suri's never played with a shot in the dark. So maybe she's trying to play old school. And she'd rather, in how she's played in the past, in her past 4 or 5 seasons she's played, maybe she'd rather just go out how it's meant to be versus surviving.
April in the chat. No, she needed her vote. More importantly, not for a 1 in 6 chance. The vote was more valuable. See, the problem with that though is like in that situation, she's got to assume that Jonathan and Joe and Aubrey are voting for her because there's just no way that those 3 wouldn't. So your best case scenario is Rizzo and Tiffany are willing to go to a rock draw for you. And at that point, I guess Tiffany's not risking her game because she has immunity. But Rizzo is potentially risking his game over Suri, who's probably going to... I mean, Rizzo said himself, like, Rizzo's not going to beat Suri at the end. Like he said himself, I'm not going to beat her. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe
I
she.
agree with Monkey Dude there with what he just said.
I think Suri knew she was cooked. Rizzo maybe could have saved her with a tie, but she was Ravens. No, I should have read that comment before I posted it. Can we change that to say Josh Allen? That would make me feel better.
So we've got Dak Prescott and Ravens in the same stream.
Monkey Dude is roasting us tonight. By the way, if you're still in here, go ahead and just give us a quick thumbs up on the video. We appreciate it all. It helps us grow. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe, the whole YouTube thing. Yeah, dude, the chat's been very fun tonight. April, I still don't understand that logic though. We'll talk about that another time. I mean, I just didn't see Cerise out there. That's all. Yeah. I think is there a rule that shot in the dark can only be played up until because
it's up until final. Maybe it's final 7 or final 8.
Yeah, because it's one.
Maybe that's what
there's
it
supposed
is.
to be 6 people can do it, and the person who's immune can't do it. So maybe she couldn't use a shot in the dark. Man, we need Sam Clark, our Survivor fact checker.
Actually, no, I think shot in the dark is final 7 or 8.
Yeah, that might be a thing. Where do you do the thumbs up? It should be on YouTube somewhere. There's just like a thumbs up button somewhere. I don't know if you're on mobile or where, but yeah. April and I don't know either. It's okay. We appreciate you guys trying. That's all. A for effort.
So
right.
At the end, so obviously Suri goes home.
Well, I wanted to note something that Rizzo said at Tribal.
Okay.
It could be foreshadowing, in my opinion. Rizzo said 6 is the same as 4th and 2nd. He's like 6th place is just as good as 4th, just as good as 2nd place.
I think okay.
Do we think Rizzo's getting 4th or 2nd place? Maybe, and then they're just like foreshadowing.
No,
I mean the editors love.
I think what he's saying in his head is like obviously they all know they're getting paid, so it's not the same. I think he was saying it's more of like
in the prestige of the game. You don't want
you're either winning or losing, or you're winning or you're not winning. I think that's just more of what he went.
So it's like the Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you last.
Yeah, I legitimately, that's more of what I took that as.
Well, if he gets 4th or if he gets 2nd, I'm gonna remember that comment because he did say 4th is just as good as 6th, and 2nd is just as good.
That's just a coincidence. That's gonna end up being a coincidence.
And then yet again, for like the freaking 14th straight Tribal Council throughout 2 seasons, Rizzo does not play his idol.
Okay. I'm gonna need to look into this because our historian isn't here.
I know we need Sam. Sam, if you're listening to this post tonight, we need you, dude. Join us for our finale.
Is Rizzo officially the person who has been able to hold an idol the longest?
Let me do a quick scan of my brain of the seasons. I'm just gonna run through each season real quick. Wendell and Ghost Island, but he did not have an idol in season 40, so not Wendell. Ben played his idols in 35. I'm going backwards. 34, nobody. It might be the early 20s, the mid 20s are a blur because those seasons are bad. And then idols didn't exist until season 11, so it would be nothing in the 10s. So yeah, I think it is Rizzo. Yeah.
I think Rizzo might be the person, who's had an idol for the longest
amount of time.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
And back-to-back seasons, no less.
Yeah. Back-to-back seasons. And then Suri voted out 4-2.
Yep. Zarif voted out 4-2. And the last note that I have before we get into the end is that we still have 3 more twists. One of them we know. What is our Final 4 challenge? That was apparently voted by the fans. Will there be fire making? We don't know about that still. And then will there be a live finale? Obviously, we know that one. But
it would be really cool if there's no fire making and we get a Final 4 vote. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. I would like to see that.
Aubrey voted out 3-1. Tiffany, Joe, Jonathan, final 3.
Jeff is like,
I
would,
guess
I would.
not Jonathan
So
because Rizzo would be
could
there.
you imagine having this if Jeff like had the fire making kit set up, and then Jeff's like right before it's like, who do you want to take with you? And you go through all of that, and he's like, all right, well, it's time to vote.
That would be quite the shocker.
I
Jeff
would
does love to throw people
love
off
to
like
see a
that.
twist. I mean, on a season of twists, I
Jeff
would
does
love
like to
see
throw
it.
people off.
And then they get so excited they're making Final 2 or Final 3, and then Jeff's like, just kidding.
What if you get like this is obviously a joke, but what if you get like Billie Eilish, Jimmy Fallon, Zach Brown, Mr. Beast all walk out, and it's like we'll be voting for the Final 4.
I would.
All the celebrities come out. All right. All right, let's do our final longevity rankings of the year.
I have a pitch to you for tonight.
Okay.
What if we both just do a final 5? Like split it halfway in between 1 through 5, 1 through 5. Like who do we think is going to place? At this point, longevity, there's no point in the longevity with only one left.
Okay. Let's do it. I have to format this in Google real quick. But I like that. We'll do yours on the right. Yeah, we'll do yours on the right. And then I'll change the title up here at the top. So give me yours. Let's start with you. So one
right,
would be the winner, and then 5 would be 5th place.
This is our final 5
prediction.
placings. Yes.
This is like what we think will happen, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I know I brought it up before. I gotta say, I think Tiff.
Tiff as the winner or Tiff at 5?
Tiff is the winner.
Ooh, okay.
Second place, I gotta go Rizzo.
Wow, Rizzo in second.
Joe.
Yeah, I think Joe is going to be 3 for me as well.
And then
lock that in.
And then Jonathan Aubrey.
You think Aubrey's finishing 5th? Okay. I am going to say Aubrey is the winner. I think her edit is too strong. I'm going to say Tiffany here. Tiffany second place. Rizzo at 4. And then Jonathan at 5.
So Jonathan next one out.
Yeah. So are we fully reversed? Nope, never mind. Yeah. Okay.
Almost.
Yeah. All right. So we both think it's a female winner.
We do.
Then,
we both have a female winner.
I'll edit this tomorrow. So we will. Oh, good question from April, real quick. As we finish up our rankings here, help me understand how Aubrey and Tiffany are in the final 3. Okay. Let me walk you through it. So Tiffany wins immunity right here, goes to Aubrey and Rizzo and says, we can't beat Jonathan in a final 4 immunity. We can't let this guy get far. He's got notches under his belt. We got to take him out at 5. And I'll just share my screen again one more time.
They're all underestimating Tiffany and how much she's sneaked through the game. So Aubrey's a threat, and Tiff is going to act like she's not a threat whatsoever and try to play one of the either Jonathan or Rizzo up. That's how I kind of take it.
My thought there would be the girls go to Rizzo and say, hey, look, we can't beat Jonathan in the final 3. He's got a better resume than Joe. I'm sorry, we can't beat Jonathan in a final 4 immunity challenge. He's got a better resume than Joe. He's a big threat to win immunity. Let's take him out here. And then Rizzo at 4 could either be like, we're sick of this kid having an idol and just coasting all the way. Let's just take him out now. Why risk him on the jury? We have better odds against each other and Joe. Or it's a fire making and Rizzo loses fire making to someone like Tiffany, for example, or Aubrey. So that's kind of my thought process here. Honestly, I just want to make a bold prediction.
My
That's
thought process, like with mine, is it's either going to be one or the other. One of them is going to cannibalize the other.
well, I think she was more focused on mine because she was asking how Aubrey.
Yeah,
and
why are
Tiffany.
they? How are they both going to
Yeah.
make it versus? Yeah.
All right. Good episode tonight. Good longevity rankings. Would you like to do a survivor duel to close us out here? Oh, before we do that, actually, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Player of the week.
The
Our
Tidewalker.
Tidewalker of the week.
Tidewalker of the week.
What are you thinking?
I would have to say
Good answer from April. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Tidewalker of the week tonight has to be Aubrey.
I was gonna say Tiffany. I'm impressed with her game. I don't hate Aubrey's as the Tidewalker of the week. Also, I don't. Yeah, April in the chat, Tiff as well.
Tiff as well. Okay.
I think it's Tiff. Very clutch immunity win. She's gone if she doesn't win that immunity.
Okay. That sways me. That's fair.
And
You're
I
right.
think
Yep.
I think it's good jury management to vote with Suri there.
To vote with Suri. That is great jury management.
And then, like, did she influence the vote towards Rick, or was it just a landslide on Rick no matter what? I think it was probably just a landslide.
It was just a landslide.
Yeah. So
that was one of the easiest votes we've had all season.
do any of the three men have a Tidewalker of the week candidacy or no? I mean, Joe, no. Rizzo,
Joe, no. Rizzo, no.
Maybe. Jonathan, probably not. No. So yeah,
No.
I mean, it's Tiff or
No,
Aubrey,
it's
and
Tiff.
Tiff
Yeah,
had a
I
better
would. Yeah.
episode. Aubrey had great confessionals, but like,
But as far as
that's
what
the
they've
editors.
actually done, yeah, you're right. Yep.
yeah.
Very good point.
All right.
right,
Let's
so-
do a survivor duel to close this out. Let me pull that up. Survivorduel.com. Share the screen one last time. Okay, let me know if you can see this on screen.
Yes, you are good.
All right. So I'll let you start off. Who are you going to start off with our castaway? And then if anybody's still in chat, feel free to give us your thoughts on Survivor Duel. This is like Wordle, but with Survivor contestants. If you've never done this before, you have 8 guesses, and it gives you some clues based on the
Let's start off
contestant you
with
guess.
Lucina,
Which season that matters.
her first one.
Cagayan Lucina? Okay. So it is a returnee, and it's a newer season than Cagayan, and a better placement than Cagayan. Okay.
And a male.
And a male. All right, so I'm going to go next. I'm going to go with my boy from one of my favorite seasons.
Also, so we also know that we have up to season 40. We haven't had her. It's not going to be anyone from 41 through 49
Why is that?
because he's a returnee.
Bruce?
Wait,
Got
why'd
you
you guess why'd you guess Rodney? He's not a returnee.
Oh, yeah, true. Good point. I just love Rodney. I freaking love Rodney. I love Rodney. All right, let's get into Game Changers then. Yeah, it's probably Game Changers or Winners of War.
Let's go Tony Winners at War. Oh no, you said worse than 4, so it's not Tony.
No, it would be better. Oh yeah, true. Worse than 4. Okay, interesting. Who's older than from Game Changers?
Older than 29. I like Joe.
Yeah, but he didn't do well on Edge of Extinction. That was my first thought there because he got well, how does it count with the let's just go for it.
Right, but
later
also,
than Edge of Extinction. So let's go with Winners of War. Probably
it has to
be Winners of War.
Has to be Winners of War.
So would it be Adam? Okay, so newer than Winners of War.
Are they considering? So it's a new era person because it's Jonathan. They're considering season 50 as current.
I don't think so. It doesn't show up here.
Jonathan Young, Survivor 42.
No, but that's not a return. Yeah, see, that doesn't count as a return either. So it's newer than 42. Wow, is it season 50?
This might be a glitch.
Bruce?
April's saying
it was Bruce! It was Bruce! It was Bruce!
Oh!
JP Hilsebeck, is that who she means? April in the chat. JP Hilsebeck from Survivor Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. He was not a returnee. But yeah, it was Bruce. I told you, dude. I called that out right away.
You were right. All right,
Bruce.
For
That was a tricky one.
Who don't know Bruce is season 44. Bruce was cast. He was medevaced day 1 or early day 2, and then he was recast for season 45.
Got it in 6. That might be our record for the podcast. Awesome. Well, what a fun episode, man. Fun episode of the show. Fun episode of the podcast. Well done, Nick. Thank you in chat, April. We nailed the Survivor Wordle tonight.
And thank you all for joining us tonight, too. This has been a super fun, interactive chat night as well.
Yes.
So
yes. I love when the chat is vibing. I love when the chat is telling each other they love each other, going back and forth. We had a great time tonight. No castaways from Survivor joined us tonight, but hey, you can't get that every week. Sometimes you get the Jake Latimer in chat. Sometimes you just get our friends and our viewers in chat. So maybe we'll have one this off season. Who knows? We got a lot of content coming this off season for sure. Chase and I have been cooking up some stuff that will be released at some point. And then next week for the finale, we will both be in Baltimore for the watch party hosted by Gabe. We're thinking potentially Thursday night, maybe Friday night as our finale aftermath recap episode. And I might have a partner host with me for that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's tuned in this season. We really appreciate you all. It's been a very fun time. I think we're going to keep this going. Season 51, depending on the timing of when they release the season, might be tough for me in terms of podcasting because my life will certainly be changing after we have our baby. But
I'll be here.
Chase will be leading the show, and I will be tuning in for the podcast as much as I can, along with changing diapers in the background. But yeah.
And if you're looking for stuff over the summer as well, Survivor isn't going to be our only podcast that we do for reality TV. Where I know Survivors was easy to get us started, but if any of you guys are Big Brother fans, I plan on co-hosting with one of my other friends a Big Brother podcast over the summer. That's going to be in the works. Trying to figure out exactly what sort of schedule we want to do for it, but stay tuned for that.
Yes. And I will also be running some shows with some other friends. I think we're going to be doing a show coming up called Wooking for Love, which is an EDM themed dating show. So that should be a train wreck. It'll be very fun to podcast about. But yeah, it's been fun doing this with you, Chase. Didn't have Sam tonight, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll be back at some point. Maybe we can catch him for the finale recap we do, if he's available.
Yeah, if we don't, since we're not going to do it live, maybe he'll be able to join us for finale, and then we'll still have to do a wrap up with my cousin Jacob on how our initial
preseason
draft went. Yeah,
well, it was very fun tonight. I had a great time with you. Great episode, and I'm looking forward to next week. So we will release a formal statement. It's either going to be Thursday or Friday next week. Chase, just off the top of your head, do you know if both those days work for you next week?
Thursday would be best.
Okay.
As of right now.
Okay. I don't know what time exactly I'll be free on Thursday. I know I'm changing locations from my normal locations, so it depends on timing and all that. But yeah, we'll let y'all know when the finale podcast will be.
I'm free all day next Thursday, so like I could even do like midday.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
All right.
We'll see how things go. Thank you all, and we will see you at some point next week. And if you are in Baltimore at the Lives Tavern event, please come say hi to us.
Shout out Colin Halls.
Shout out Colin Halls. Yep. Thank you all. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.